Hey, hi. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel, where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites every single time. Folks, I'll tell you what, it is always tremendous to be back out here with all of you. And sometimes we're out here with all of you live. That's right, we're doing it live because we're doing it live Wednesday night, and this is going to be great. This is great. So we have a video game called Goat Survivor, and this is a bullet heaven survivor-like that is goat themed. And if I'm being honest, I think it's got a horror-ish bend to it a little bit. You know, when I loaded it up, it had kind of that eerie music, you know, we got a little bit of a howl in the background, and I like a good howl. So we're going to be diving in, and I want to say a special thank you to Sekiro, because Sekiro gifted the game to me the other day, and I love random acts of kindness like that, so thanks so much. That said, let's dive in. I have a glass, I should say, not a cup. I have a glass of decaf cold brew here, and I don't know. I think we're gonna drink some coffee and have a good time. And we've already got a message here from Goon that says, you know, we're gonna win. I'm just not gonna read anything. And well, I think that's because Goon has hung out here before, and well, we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna give it the old college try, and yeah, let's dive in. So we're gonna start as the prophet here, and we've got, let's see, double luminous, stabs twice at surrounding enemies with divine power, damage 6. What could go wrong? I am just starting, haven't played much of this game, and so we're all kind of taking a look at it for the first time here, right? Okay, all right. Mr. Katosin, thanks for being out here with us. I hope they got Magnesis as well. We will take a look at the meta progression options once we get to the end of this first run here. And if there's Magnesis, well, we already know what's going to happen, don't we? Venomous Breath breathes poison at a nearby enemy. Damage of 12. Yeah, that sounds like it's pretty okay. So how's everybody doing as of late? It's been another week already. Critical hit chance increased by 5%. See, I'm already doing a better job of reading. See that? Goon might just be eating his words. We'll see, I suppose. Let's go crit hit chance. I'm okay with that. Speaking of chance, maybe we'll get something good out of this chest here. Okay, you doubt it. Holy type skill, additional cast increased by 20%, gold gang increased by 10%, poison damage increased by 30%. Well, I think we're going to do that. First use of the like button, love it. Thank you so much. Fire type skill haste increased by 10. Holy type skill haste increased by 40. Well, we do have the holy stuff going. This also falls under the fire, right? All right, I'm gonna do that. We'll get that green gas firing off a little bit more often, right? Ooh. Press the button too quickly. Let's go critical damage increase by 5%. Technically, it's not reading, but it's clear that he isn't paying attention to the rarity. Well... Maybe I'll improve as the evening goes on. All right, here we go. Additional use. 25% chance for poison to trigger again. That sounds good, actually. Venomous Breath additional casts increased by 120%. We're going to go with this. I'll tell you, it's been a little bit of a slower week so far. I'd say work-wise. You know, everybody, I think, comes back from the break if they took one. And they go, not so ready for this just yet. Swings a flaming blade at a nearby enemy. That sounds okay. Demon strikes around a nearby enemy. Creates a starlight zone. Let's go with the burning blade. Let's give that a shot. But yeah, I think everybody's still getting back into it. Back into the swing of things. All right, let's see here. Burning Blade skill acceleration increases by 120. Double Luminous skill acceleration increases by 40. So the Luminous is our main attack. I am going to go with this guy right here. I appreciate the cold Christmas theme. I don't know if any of you have found yourself shoveling over the last several days or not. Maybe just me. Double Luminous skill range increases by 20%. Yes. Now let's grab the chest if we can. Perfect. And we're going to go ahead with just a across-the-board crit hit chance by 30%. Seems pretty good. Doesn't seem to snow here enough, but then again, it is Florida. Well, you know, that would make sense. You might be slightly worried if you walk outside and it's covered in snow out there. I am maybe slightly jealous of the weather in the Floridas. Last year you had snow for a week. Okay, I don't remember that. I have a buddy that is out that way. Was it a lot? Hey, Cameron. How are you, buddy? Venomous Breath additional casts increased by 40%. Yeah, why not? It's definitely popping off multiple times. Because science and math. I feel like I'm getting ganged up on all of a sudden here. Revelation Orb additional casts increased by 40%. Revelation Orb. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I went out and made a small investment in some brand new shovels, and let's go with some additional experience gain. And I'm glad I did it. Creates a rift around the nearest enemy, dealing continuous damage. That sounds pretty okay. Why don't we go with that? Yeah, the last few years we were utilizing shovels that, you know, they had minor cracks in them, and then the cracks become bigger, right? Because, you know, lo and behold, the goat isn't always on top of the snow right away, and so the snow becomes ice because that's a thing that happens. And next thing you know, you're jamming the shovel into the driveway, and well, the small cracks become large cracks, and then, you know, then you're out buying more shovels. It is cyclical, let me tell you. And I know what you're all thinking, wait, the goat late to clean up snow? That doesn't track. Well, yeah, it's because I'm trying to show off all the awesome video games for all of you. So, I'm literally laughing out loud at the S-bend for us olds so we don't have heart attacks. That's hilarious. So, yes, snow is an evil plot by the big shovel companies. Yes, Shovel Corp. Those jerks. I know the S-bend, and it's funny because initially I went to grab the S-bend. I was at a Home Depot, and I go to reach up to grab the one with the S-bend, and I can't get it to come out. They had it like curved into the little display hook, but it was curved in a way where it was just perma-stuck. So not only did I look like I needed an old shovel, but I looked like an old because I couldn't get it off the rack, you know? And that's when I had to walk away. I had to walk. Yes, I bought. Yeah, didn't buy 10 because I couldn't get it down. I just couldn't. Yeah, that is a thing that happened. That is absolutely a thing that happened. That's funny. No, so I did not go S-curve shovel this time, but I probably that time draws near. You were half right. Yeah, for sure. You know what I did get, though? I went with the really wide business end, you know? So I'll tell you, when that snow sees me coming, it takes a look at that wide business end, and I think it just loosens up, like, to make the process easier for everybody, right? Like, I can just see, oh, he's not here to mess around. Let's just make this a quick job. Okay, whoa. What happened there? That was crazy. We took all the damage all at once. All right, so we do have some coins, and we're going to head into the traits area. Now, what do these guys cost, you think? Now, I know folks are going to have some feelings about these different traits, and I can appreciate the feelings. Now, I am going to do the responsible adult thing at least once, right? Now, how much are we going to get here? Okay, so plus 10% at this point. But we are going to do the other thing here, and we're going to go all in. Well, as much as it'll let us on the Magnesis side. That was the Reaper. That Reaper did like 2 billion damage. Yeah, it certainly did. All right, so let's jump right back in here. I know. Gold Gang, yeah, next time we'll do Gold Gang. I mean, you can understand we had to go Magnesis first, right? Oh, Sporian, there is a goat bullet heaven, and you are looking at it. You are looking at it right now. All right, chapter 1, here we go again. This is going to play out differently now because of the Magnesis, right? Everybody knows it. Yeah, it's really neat so far. I like the artwork. It reminds me of the Cult game a little bit. It's giving me those vibes. Flame Roulette triggers 4 explosions on a random enemy. Fires 3 fast-moving fireballs. Creates 2 pillars of fire around the nearest enemy. Let's try this Flame Roulette. Cult of the Lamb, thank you. Yes. You know, they had some DLC for Cult come out, didn't they? I never took a look at that. Now, we did a full playthrough of Cult on the channel and used some channel members as names of Cult followers. It was fun. It was fun. Take a quick sip there. Cheers to all of you. All right. Fire type skill area increased by 10%. Yeah, why not? So maybe we're just going to try to go ham on fire skills this time. I always say that, but then it never works out that way. So good. So we got some Cult fans out there. Yeah, I had a blast with that game. I thought the combat could have been just a hair better. But aside from that, I had a really good time with that game. Art was fantastic. The story was fantastic. I enjoyed the whole thing. All right, we are getting stuck in here. Dance of Shadows and Light. Slashes twice around the nearest enemy. Does bleeding. Yeah, why not? I know we said we were going to go all in on fire, but there's a number of skills that we still have to try. Let's go with Flame Roulette again. And I think we'll do Area again. I like that they've got those reminders there for what it's going to impact. Very important for players like the GOAT. Skill acceleration increased by 30, so it's just a nice across the board. Let's do it. Now, is anybody gonna try the Rune Dice game that we showed off earlier today? I'll tell you, I had a good time with that one. And then I also want to ask, has anybody tried Tingus Goose? Does anybody know about Tingus Goose yet? So I'll tell you what, my brother told me about Tingus Goose and said, hey, you GOAT, what are you doing? You need to play this. Yes, Sporian. It started out on the mobile side, and then apparently they made a change to it that not everybody was happy about, and they didn't roll it back. I think it went ad-based, if I remember what he was telling me. And not everybody was thrilled about that change, and so now this is Tingus Goose getting back to good old Tingus Goose. That's of course, I have not played it. I have not played the mobile version. So this is all secondhand GOAT right now. Secondhand. Very tempted to gift that Goose game to my friend as a sick joke. That's fantastic. Wish me luck trying to put together end tables, and it's been a journey. I'll be trying that game, but I know nothing about Goose Game. Yeah, so good luck with the end tables, boss. Man, I mean, we've talked about how a manual for putting things together, that's my own personal hell, if I'm being completely honest. In fact, my personal hell might be like an IKEA where I have to put things together, you know? Yeah, I can't do it. Just can't do it. To the surprise of probably nobody here, right? All right, we're getting a little bit banged up. I'm gonna circle around here a little bit. Did I play He Is Coming on the channel, Goat? I did. It's really good. I've wrote those professionally for a couple of jobs. Oh, wow. The instructions didn't tell us we had to take a certain piece apart, so we had to go online and figure that out. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, Tingus is on Steam now. Now, I don't know if it was prior, but Tingus is back out there, and I think that happened this week. Burn damage increased by 30%. That probably would be a good way to go, considering all the burn skills that we have, right? See, if it was my writing, you would know. That's fantastic. Critical damage increased by 30%. Additional cast increased by 30%. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So far, so good. Physical type skill, additional cast increased. I think we just go damage increase across the board. Oh, no kidding. Okay, all right. Let's, oh, you're right. You are right, Glitchard. That's a good call out. I didn't even notice that. Well, what are we working towards here? Oh, is that how you actually complete a round? Is that what's happening? Let's go restore 1 HP. Oh, that's extract. Okay. Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? Dance of Shadows and Light additional casts increased by 80%. Wow. I saw that. I saw that 1 out of 5. Yeah. I wonder if that's just a bunch of buffs that you can unlock. No, it was a good guess. It was a very good guess. I think we're going to do this. Okay. Only reason why I brought it up, if you possibly played HoloCure, since it seems to have had quite a good bundle of updates and has gotten a lot bigger now. I'll tell you what, it has been a good long time on HoloCure, but I like HoloCure quite a bit. Fantastic game. I was pretty hooked on HoloCure for a while. There's probably around 10 HoloCure videos on the channel from way back when. And I still cannot believe they don't charge anything for that game. Now, if that's still the case, I get that it's because it involves VTubers, right? And they don't own the license or something like this, but boy, it's an excellent free-to-play bullet heaven. All right, so it's still free. Was hugely hooked on the game too. Honestly surprised that the game is free. Yeah. It's fantastic. All right, well, as long as we can continue to get some buffs from the pentagram, I say let's do it. Yeah, I mean, there's some really fantastic bullet heavens out there, and HoloCure is one of them. Now, I believe, I heard through the grapevine, that is Twitter, that the Bullet Heaven Festival is going to be happening again. And they're doing this to try and create a Steam tag that speaks to this genre of game. In fact, I filled out a survey the other day related to this, picking out my first choice for the genre name and then a second choice, the Steam tags. And I participated in the Bullet Heaven Festival, a couple years back. So I don't know if I'll get an invite to do that again, but it was fun, and I hope we end up getting a tag this time. A little bit exhausted on the bullet hells. I hear ya. You're not wrong. Some are just a copy and paste. It's true. We lost our sound there for a moment. All right, well, as long as we'll just we'll be able to chill there, I'm okay with it. Yep. Love Ball X Pit. I was reading on the roguelite. Ooh. Okay. So, are we supposed to die when the Reaper shows up? Seems to be a magnet. I feel like it does many things. Anyway, I was reading on the Roguelites subreddit about Ball X Pit the other day, and it seems like people enjoyed the early game, the mid game, but by the late game, what I was reading is that a lot of people bounced off Ball X Pit and didn't end up finishing it. Hey, Game Lover. Thanks for being out here with us. Pretty sure you die. Okay. Breathes dragon fire at a nearby enemy. Let's go with Dragon's Breath. I saw that they are coming with an update. Hey, I would check it out. I did get to the end of that game, and I feel like by the end, I had gotten quite a bit out of it. I felt like it was a great game overall. I do hear what people were saying when they said, hey, by the end, I was ready to bounce off. By the end, I felt like I had gotten what I needed out of it. All right. Did get worn out on Ball X Pit at the end, but by then you unlock the autoplay guy, so I had him beat the game for me. It's so funny you're saying that because, and maybe this was your comment that I read. Somebody on that Reddit post said the same exact thing, that they opened up that guy and just finished the game that way. So you're making me laugh. That was an exact comment from that thread. So if it wasn't you, your doppelganger did the same thing. Looks like at the top center of the screen, you have to complete 5 pentagrams in 5 minutes or the Reaper shows up. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that could be it. That could be it. That means we got to get back in there. Hey, hi, hello, DWD. Thanks for being out here. Let's go with some health restore, especially if we're going to be hanging out over here. Maybe taking some damage. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe we've got to get 5 of them before the time runs out, or we're cooked. That's very true. That's very true as well. All right. Let's go with a damage increase across the board. You know, this is going to be slightly challenging, getting in the center there and just hanging out. Summons a whirlwind of light that continuously deals damage around the nearest enemy. Okay. Or creates a starlight zone that continuously deals damage. The zone moves according to the enemy's position. I was about to say, did we just find Goat Survivor Garlic? But I suppose it's a little bit different. All right, Goon, but now you got to tell us what you got, grocery-wise. That's the rule. You bring up some kind of food, we gotta discuss it. Just gotta follow the rules here. Did you possibly play Touhou Blooming Chaos 2? It's honestly a pretty cool roguelike, and it honestly does deserve more attention despite it being Japanese. It does have English subtitles and stuff too. You know what? That one is not ringing a bell. So maybe I need to check that out. I'm here for Cherry Ludens and emotional support. Well, maybe just the Cherry Ludens. No, you can listen. We have all the emotional supports too. That's just one of the other services we offer here. In addition to Cherry Ludens, we got all the things, but only for you. Only for you, gents. Cheers to all of you. Take a sip there. All right, let's go with another damage increase across the board. And a chest, Yamahama. We're gonna go with crit damage so that we can be a regular crit commander. You know, Vampire Survivors, you're making me think of something here. I heard that Vampire Survivors is, well, the dev group is creating some kind of roguelike or roguelite deck builder. Have you all seen this? It looks pretty interesting. Summons 3 divine lightning strikes around random enemies, delivering holy judgment. I'll tell you what, color me interested. I think it looks really cool. You can have a Ludens. Everybody can have a Ludens right now. I legit have the extra large bag of Ludens. Not on my person, but downstairs in a cabinet. I've got the family size bag. It's a regular Ludens buffet. Okay? It's basically all you can eat. Cherry Ludens for all. How about it? Just spilled mine. Oh no. All right, we're gonna push for all 5 pentagrams. We're getting knocked around a little bit, but I'm willing to hang out here. We also skipped the opportunity to hit the meta progression phase again because I just went with retry. So we're gonna have. You know what? Look, we might just max out the entire Magnesis bar. Okay. I mean, get excited. That way we can hang out over here and we won't miss an experience point ever again. It's very exciting. Howdy, Daniel. Did you know Warhammer 40K is making a game with the Vampire Survivor engine? It will be their own game, not a DLC for Vampire Survivors. You know what? I think I did see that, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right, this is going to put us at 4 of 5, and then we're going to have basically a full minute or close to for that last bar. I think it can happen. Other thing I see too, like Vampire Survivors 3D style, so heavy, needing more than 2080. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what was it? Vampire Hunters, I think, was one of the first ones that I remember doing that. Summons hands from the ground around a random enemy, dealing continuous damage. That sounds nice, actually. It's going to slow them down also. What could go wrong? All right, so we got the damage plus 10, and we are on our way. Now, you know, if I just study the passage of time, right, and I consider how fast we are filling up these 1/5 of space, I don't know that this is going to work out in a way that we're going to be happy with. We're going to give it the old college try, though. I'll tell you what. Yeah, we're gonna give it a try. Technically, my first roguelike that I've played was The Perfect Tower, but that was well over a decade ago. Perfect Tower. I don't know if that one is not ringing a bell. I love that I find out about games that I didn't know about. I've definitely played a game, though, where you had to climb a tower, stage by stage. I'm gonna have to go back and look that one up. That's why I love the 2D and Pixel. They don't need strong CPUs. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Okay, 20 seconds to Reaper Town. In case you are playing along at home, I don't know that the math is going to properly math. It's going to be close, but you'd have it no other way here. My goodness. But we were just... Oh, hey, okay. All right, look at that. Look at that. So whoever called that out as 5 to move forward, you were absolutely correct. It's a really old roguelike where you had to defend a tower against enemies, where you'd upgrade various stuff of the tower, had to research things at your home base along with other stuff, hit resource conversion and everything too. You know, were you fighting against stick figure guys? Was this an old style Flash game? Or is this a game on the Steams? Because I'll tell you what, I played the heck out of those old Flash games. Loved those. So if that's what we're talking about, you are in good company. I'll say that. You were fighting against cubes. It was an old-style Unity game on Congregate. Okay, well, we're talking about different things, but I think I can imagine, you know, what this looks like. All right, so these are both holy. Let's go with this skill range increase. Especially if the goal is just to hang out in the middle. Fire type. I'm actually going to go evasion. Tell you what, we are going to bring back a ton of currency by the time we lose. Let's go with a reroll, actually. Okay. But I did dabble a bunch into older Flash games as well. Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, I had a computer applications class in high school, and you know, this is, I mean, I'm gonna date myself here. Releases poison around a random enemy. Yeah, Death Mist sounds very... Ooh, wait a second. Emits poisonous miasma around itself, dealing continuous damage. Yes, Aura of Decay. Okay, I think we just found Goat Survivor Garlic, and I'm happy about that. I had a computer applications class, and this was before they had tools for the professors to just lock you out of everything. So while we were supposed to be doing Excel and Microsoft Word and, my goodness, Microsoft Access, what a time. If any of you spent time dabbling in the dark arts of Microsoft Access, you want to have fun. Build some tables in Microsoft Access, let me tell you. We were out on the Flash games, right? Addictinggames.com and 101 Games and all these sites. I mean, it was wild. It was wild. I always got the workbook stuff done. Just always didn't happen right away. And that was fine. That was fine. All right, groceries in. This Philip was just sundry stuff and fill-ups. However, I did some chicken breast to make this taco casserole. All right. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Been an Access admin for a Fortune 500 company. Wow. Okay. So that was way back in the day. When I was a kid, Windows 98 was a big thing. Yeah. Well, Windows 98 is still a big thing. It lives on in our hearts, right? Okay, the Reaper slashes around a nearby enemy dealing damage. Yeah, why not? Why not? Something new. Let's go with this. Microsoft DOS was in 2.0. Wow, 2.0. So that was like the DLC version of DOS, right? Probably added 40 more commands in there for you. That's pretty cool. 98 was the GOAT for a long time. Windows ME or Millennium Edition was absolute garbage. I remember people not being so excited about Windows ME. Yeah, well, I was around in the 3.1 days where you could still enjoy time doing the things in DOS and going into Windows, if you wanted to. You had a choice. Now you don't really have a choice. They took the choice away from us. I remember missing DOS for quite some time prior to 98 and XP just taking over. Because I always felt like, but I had so much more control in DOS, and then, we all just kind of fell in line, right? That's how I feel. Windows 98 SE was super stable. Learned how to navigate DOS commands back then. Yeah. When I was a kid, there was no Windows. It was an Apple IIe, original Oregon Trail. Not bad for a kid going to school in Little House on the Prairie. Well, I played some original Oregon Trail. Okay, little stick figure hunting, and you'd shoot the rifle, and it was literally a square pixel that flew across the screen, and but hey, when you hit that oxen, and they told you, hey, you were going back with 300 pounds, but 300 pounds. There's 4 of you. You glutton, right? I mean, isn't that what it said? Spacebar to shoot, dude. This is like a core memory you're bringing about here for me. It's crazy. Better get out of my head, right? Yeah, we actually had computer time, like computer lab, and we'd go in there and we'd get access to the Apple computers, and gosh, so you had Oregon Trail, right? And then you had and this game was an abomination. They had Carmen Sandiego, and you needed an Atlas to play that game. No joke. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It was a game but it was really a school assignment disguised as a game, right? It was out there masquerading as something fun. And then they said, oh, and hey, grab the atlas. And you go, what? Wait, what? Where's Oregon Trail? Come on now. You loved Carmen. You know what? I appreciate the folks that were good at Carmen. The GOAT was not, the GOAT was not the best at Carmen Sandiego, right? I know, shocker. A lot of shockers today, folks. A lot of shockers out there today. Wow. I know. I kind of lost sight of the whole pentagram thing. But that's okay. That's okay, because we got plenty of do re mi to spend. So if we lose, we just spend the do re mi. It'll be okay. It's gonna be all right. You're Carmen's best friend. You know what? The other one, and now I'm really thinking about this. The other one that I really liked was Number Munchers. Now, I'm going to guess there's at least one other person here that remembers some Number Munchers from back in the day. Stay away from those nasty troglodytes, right? You know about the troglodytes. I took a typing class, but it was basically a free class because our teacher was convinced we'd never need to be good at it. Having a home computer was unheard of. That's crazy. That's crazy. King's Quest, Police Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah. It's crazy. Number Munchers was the most popular game in the library. Holy crap, I haven't thought of Number Munchers in forever. Yeah, it's I had some amazing times with Number Munchers. And I wasn't the best mathematician at that point in my life. You know, there was definitely some guessing from time to time, and the guesses didn't always go my way. All right, dark and slow down. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, hi, hello, dog with hat. Thanks for being out here. We're playing a game about goats. I think I'll have some of that emotional support now. I know, it's nostalgic, right? I mean, honestly, you think back to some of those times and you go, oh yeah, the computer lab, gosh, I still remember one of the teachers' names, and you're like, that wasn't so long ago. And then you go, oh God, that was long ago, right? It's true. It's true. That's okay though. You're in good company. Those were good times. Oh man, AOL and ICQ. All right, well, as long as, this is a family show, so as long as it's, appropriate to share, Goon, we always like a good story. It's a family show. Twisted Llama, oh, wow. You know what? I wasn't an ICQ user. Fire Sting Skill Acceleration, yes. I was not an ICQ user. I was definitely an AIM user and hung out in PC chat, if I remember right. Does anybody remember when the internet first came out and chat rooms were literally forums that you had to, you'd put your post up and then you'd hit refresh and you'd hit refresh again and then you're refreshing. That was the chat room. There was a Sega chat that I used to hang out in. And, of course, you know, you had all the Sega Genesis avatars. I think I had a Sonic one, if I'm remembering correctly. Sega chat, what a time. Hey, we got the win. We'll take it. Quick victory lap. Stage 1-3. Oh my goodness. Yahoo chat. And Yahoo Games as well. Yahoo Games had the Yahoo Match 3 Tetris-ish game that I was hooked on for a few months. I remember playing a lot of that one. Teacher didn't like me. He said I didn't know anything about computers. I would never know anything about computers, and I'd die broke if I tried to work with computers. My goodness. I saw a similar outburst in a speech class. It was, I mean, looking back, it was disappointing how that teacher reacted. It basically said the same thing to this gentleman in front of all of us. You were only allowed one note card, and this guy taped a bunch of note cards together. And during his speech, I don't know what he was thinking that he was going to get by with this. He goes to like nonchalantly flip the note card over, and this teacher just lost their mind and told the kid, "Hey, you know, you're never going to amount to anything in your whole life." It's crazy. Came in with my W-2 at 17. Wow. Wow. Oh, vindication. All right, we need a little bit more power here. Just leaving a little bit to be desired. Plague Rift creates a rift around the nearest enemy, dealing continuous damage. That sounds quite all right. The internet had mystery back then, man. Not like whatever the heck we have now. Wild West period of the internet was just great. Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's funny you say that. So this is a conversation that I was having with my daughter the other night. We were talking about whether or not someone should have to have, I think we lost our music for a moment here, whether someone should have to have a license or not to have, you know, a YouTube channel or an Insta or whatever it is. You know, because if you think about it, anybody who's anybody can have a radio station, right? Because if the Goat Force Gaming channel is a radio station, I didn't have to have any kind of, I just said, hey, I'd like to do this. And YouTube was kind enough to give me a platform, right? Yeah, how about it? Cannot say I miss the old YouTube Rickrolling. Yeah, those were definitely the days. Totally agree. Well, we've got sound. We just don't have music. It is what it is. We're just rolling with it. Okay. Cheers to all of you. Let's out a roar that knocks back nearby enemies. Maybe the music will come back. Maybe it's because we've gotten so far in the run that the track just ran out. Could totally see Goat being on the radio. Yeah, I people always said I had a face for radio. Truth be told, I had an internet radio station back in college, and we had a good time with that for a little bit. All right, we need to get some additional experience points going. Did you see that video on the original Rickroll, how it in itself is a Rickroll because they screwed up the audio and only uploaded the left track and not the right track, so we only hear half. That's fantastic. Yeah, correct, Rob. Yeah, maybe we're just beating the level so hard that it gave up. Let's go with that theory. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do about the music thing. We're just stuck until we roll a new game. That's all. That's okay. We'll just use this as focused time. Right? This is it's more relaxing this way. Woo-sa. Right? Okay. Triggers a plague explosion around the nearest enemy, dealing continuous damage. That sounds nice. It is zen. It's very zen. Finally figured out what the Goat Force is. It's magnesis. Yeah. Yeah. It absolutely is. Well, we need to figure out what the subscriber magnesis is for next year, because I'll tell you what, I want 2026 to be a tremendous year of growth. More so than we've ever had. That's a great troll, and I didn't think of it. I don't even take it as a troll. It's real. Okay, let's go with additional cast increase. Burn duration, incoming damage reduced by 2. This might be nice. Maybe this will help us with the billion damage that we take from the Grim Reaper. Yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll see if we can get there. The YouTube algo is a funny thing. It really is. And you've probably heard me say this before, but every time I think I've got it figured out, it turns out I don't have it figured out. And so we just do this for fun, right? Okay, critical hit chance increased by 10%. Yep, that sounds good. So I do think we're going to get crushed by the Reaper, but that's okay. People who wrote the algo don't know what it does. They just adjust this and poke that, but never know how it will work out in the end. Yeah, you know, I think at times the large group of tubers across the world do feel like we are, part of a grand experiment. I think that is absolutely true. At the same time, I'm extremely appreciative of the platform they do give us and all the cool stuff we've been able to do with said platform, right? It still feels like a win-win to me overall. You know, they get a little bit, we get a little bit, and everybody wins. And I do think that they're, you know, constantly adding features that that make things better. At some point, I'll be able to stream vertically as well, and that should help pull in an additional audience. Hey, we survived one hit, but that second hit for 214 billion, that didn't work out so much. Yeah, you caught it live. You caught it live. Thanks for being out here. It is Reaper time. All right, we're going to exit to title this time. And that should re-trigger the music for us. Let's go in here, and you know where we're heading. Come on. You know what we're doing. Reaper OP needs nerf. Yeah, well, that's okay, because everything's about to change going forward. Okay? This is where things are going to get really, really wild. Okay? All right? Now, I know that might be just a little bit too much. Goon was hoping for some gold gain. All right, so we're gonna put one in there. We're gonna put one in there, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay. So pickup range looking very solid. Oh, look at this now. Lulu, the goat, is available. Fires concentrated flames at the nearest enemy. Damage 3. Do we dare go with Lulu? The stats look the same. Lock count 3. Gold gang 150. Okay. So they look similar, don't they? Let's try Lulu. Hey, actually, Eric. All right, I like the fireballs. Got some nice damage over time right off the bat. Yeah, Rob, it's pretty good. I do like this for continuous damage. Let's do that. This one worked out pretty good last time. All right, experience gang increased by 20%. Yep. Yeah, thank you for the likes, everybody. That certainly does help. You know, I think there's a number of, not to use one of those terrible corporate terminologies, but KPIs. There are a number of KPIs that YouTube tracks to, like average view duration and comments and how many people subscribed and those types of things. And when it sees the right KPIs, it passes the video along to a wider audience, and that's how the sausage is made, right? And now that you know that, just go out and do the thing. Why is this a problem? No, seriously, I appreciate everybody's engagement and help, and we will do what we can in terms of continuing to grow. Dark type skill additional cast increased by 60%, so we got at least 2 darks. Sounds nice. All right. There aren't many quotable things in modern day. That's all we did in the 90s and early 2000s. The more movies you watched, the more references you could make. That's culture. Yeah. Well said. Let's go with another dark. I do like the look of that one. Makes me think of the graveyard in Simon's Quest. Simon's Quest, what a video game, right? Did anybody actually figure out the whole crystal by the wall thing and the, what is it, a whirlwind that comes and picks, oh, sorry, spoilers. Spoilers for Simon's Quest, sorry. Suppose it's too late now to tell you to skip ahead. Sorry about this. Simon's Quest. Pour one out. Spoilers. Some of that stuff was just so obscure back in the day, right? Come on, did you? You called the hotline? Get out of here. That's amazing. How was it? What do you remember from the call? That's pretty cool. Nintendo Power Hotline. That's fantastic. I just, I remember getting to a point in that game where I thought, all right, well, I can't get any further. So I'm just going to re-roll again. Let's go Plague Bomb for another Dark and Poison. And then I would just continue playing through, the start of that game. And, I'd end up in that first castle where you get the rib, right? You get Dracula's rib and it acts as a shield and all that. Does that do anything for you? I called the 900 number for Sierra, for King's Quest, and Monkey Quest more than once. Wow. That's awesome. Called Nintendo Power one time for Final Fantasy 1. There was a wait time. My mom was timing me since it was a pay per minute. They answered me pretty fast once I got a guy on the... Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. I have to admit, I never called Nintendo Power live. I can't say I've had that experience. So I'm jealous. I'm jealous of those that had that experience. That's really neat. And quite honestly, my version of calling Nintendo Power was just simply reaching out to friends, especially with the Final Fantasies of the world. And God, I mean, now if you really want to get into it, well, we can get into it here. Crystalis comes to mind. Faxanadu comes to mind. Remember Faxanadu? Right? I mean, you thought you were going places in that game, and then all of a sudden you get the power of flight, and you're like, oh, Faxanadu. Now we're cooking with gas. Right? That is crazy. Honestly, 100% no lie, the only 900 number I've ever called. Nobody believes that, Goon. Nobody believes that. Okay. Sierra was like, press 1 for King's Quest, press 2 for Space Quest, etc., etc. Then they'd be like, press 1 for Act 1-2 for Act 2. Wow, no kidding. What a call tree. Was never old enough to call the hotline, but I studied those game tutorials pamphlets that came inside the game's case intensely for every game. I had the internet early. I didn't need the 900s. Look, this was the time before the internet where you called your friend and said, hey, I am playing Dragon Warrior 4. Here's where I'm at. What the heck do I have to do? Where do I have to go? I've fought all the things. I went to the cave. And then your friend would say, well, did you talk to everybody in the town? And you'd say, yes, of course I talked to everybody in the town. I've been up and down the town. Oh, but there's a spot with the one merchant. Did you go in the back room? And you'd say, what do you mean that? What back room? What do you mean back room? And then, oh, that's what you got to do, right? I mean, it was always something like that. I had got stuck in Shining Force to something like that, but yeah, my one buddy helped me out of numerous jams, and the solution was always like the go-to. Did you talk to everybody in town? You gotta talk to everybody in town. It was funny. That's how it was back then. I also called for Final Fantasy II. I asked how to get the sword in the final dungeon. Walking on an invisible bridge blew my mind. I thought it was totally cheating to do that. Wow. So what you're saying, Goat Force, is you never read your entire life. Oh, man. Well, look, you know... Look. I suppose you got me on that one. I can't... Can I walk that back? I can't walk that back, can I? Yeah, I mean, there was... You know... What a time. What a time. Yeah. Guess you got me there. It's funny because, you know, I was never really into the RPGs. I kind of got to those later on. And I think where the RPGs really started to grab me was with Shining Force. I think so. Glorious video game. All right, 25% chance for poison to trigger again. Yes. Got lots of poison. All right, we got the Reaper counter, but I think we can make it. I'm gonna assume positive things. Our attitude is our altitude. Right? That's what Mom always said. Okay. Hey, we got it. This is exciting. I guess let's stay in the middle. Well, I was gonna say let's stay in the middle while it's not as crowded, but the problem is the power level leaves a little bit to be desired. Little bit. All right. Summons a massive projectile of light that flies toward the nearest enemy, pushing back any foes it hits. But as long as we can get other fire spells, I think that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to do this one at 10 stacks, restores 5 health. Yeah, this one was pretty good last time. I had a magazine that covered Shining Force, and it had the face pictures of all the characters around the edges of a 2-page spread. I looked at it for hours, imagining how cool it would be. I was not disappointed. I love Shining Force and all the games in the series. Yeah. You know, I think Shining Force 1 and 2 were probably my favorite games on the Genesis. They're just so good. And you know what's interesting too is there were hidden characters. There were characters you could literally miss. I thought that was wild. Oh, the back in the day game conversations they're epic. They're fantastic. Yeah, we had a good time with them. Let's see if we can get another fire spell to pop here. There we go, Magma Ball. The Goat in the future are going to need some mods for the channel. It's possible. It's possible. You know what? That would be just an excellent scenario to be in. You know, that really would. A century of gaming experience. Love it. Love it. Revive with 50% health upon death. Physical type skill haste increased by 60. Physical type skill additional cast. I think we want to do that. Let's get all the additional casts happening. You know, you've made it when the bots start targeting you. Yeah, you know what's interesting about that is the bots actually target you when you're brand new. That's when they come. Let's see. Drops rocks on the heads of 3 random enemies, dealing damage. That sounds fun, but I'm kind of hoping for another fire spell. There we go. Creates 2 pillars of fire around the nearest enemy. That's awesome. God help him if he mods me. He thinks I pick on him now. If I have a modicum of power and can pick on him. Wahahaha. A modicum of power. I see what you did there. That's very nice. It's very nice for us. I appreciate it on many levels. Modicum of power. It's very nice for us. Yeah, it's true. And you know, I think when you're a new tuber out there, I had to. There were times where I saw comments, you know, starting out, and I didn't realize they were fake. I had to Google some of them, and then, you know, that's where you'd find out, oh, this is just a spam bot, you know, avoid it. But I had so many people helping me early on with the channel and everything I was trying to do. I look back on that time very fondly. It was challenging starting up, but you know, I had a lot of people helping me out. If you can baffle them with bull stuff, befuddle them with brilliance. Love it. Love it. Oh, wow. More flame stuff. This is great. Triggers 4 explosions. Yeah, we like this one. Yeah, that's well said, Mr. Kurtosin. That is how it goes. You know, the first few streams that I did back when I was playing, oh goodness, the name of the game is escaping me at this point, but it was one of the first games that I streamed, and you know, they'd come in, and it was just a bot that would come in and post an ad, and it was all about, hey, let us give you want the big views? You want to get big? This is how you can get big, you know. And we all had a good laugh at it. But that was back when I really didn't know what I was doing, and still to this day I don't really know what I'm doing. But we're having a good time. You know, at least there's that. Okay. Does Goat Force come from Shining Force? No. And no, it wasn't Noida. It was, you know what it was? Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy. No, I just kind of came up with Goat Force. It sounded nice to me. And here we are. All these years later. Well, I guess let's try this Earth Collapse, physical and bleeding. What could go wrong? Yeah, Rogue Legacy is is quite awesome, Eric. It's very, very good. I used to play that one live. That was, gosh, my first or second year of doing YouTube, and I was talking to all these other YouTubers at the time, and even got invited on their gaming podcasts, and you know, they'd have end of the year shows, and they'd have me on to talk about the rogue scene and everything. And you know what's wild? Most of them are not doing YouTube anymore. It's crazy how people just, you know, they kind of bounce in and out of the creator scene, because it's hard. It's you know, this is hard. I mean, if you're trying to do it to be a financial thing, it's very hard. If you're just doing it as a hobby to have fun, it's less hard, you know, because you're not looking at it like, oh man, I don't know about this, you know. You're just funning around out there. Take a sip here. Cheers to all of you. You don't have a Discord channel as well, Goat. Maybe we want to be free from us. No, it's not that. I've thought about it. I have thought about having a Discord channel. I don't know that I could keep up with it all. You know, and anything I do, I want to make sure I'm doing right by it. You know, being purposeful. And I don't know. I don't know if I could keep up with all of it. It might be fun. Look, I'm glad that we can all get together like this on Wednesdays. I mean, this is I don't know. This is what, the 6th or 7th live on a Wednesday we've done in a row. So I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, because have a day job is extra. If don't have a day job, it's insane. If not, yeah, it's true. It's true. Fire type skill area increase. Ooh, 60%. Nice. All right, so turns out we're gonna win, which is fantastic. All right, next stage it is. Yeah, like I say, I wouldn't want to be halfway in if I was going to do something like a Discord or look. I mean, there was a point this year where I was thinking, maybe I want to have a web page as well, and it's another one of those thoughts, and then I immediately go to, I don't know if I could keep up with all of that, you know? I meet devs, they got out job and said, hey, if this game does not make it, I can't make more games in the future. It's too much pressure. Yeah, you know, there is a dev that I've been talking with here and there, and I'm not going to say the dev or the game, but I'll just say that, I think it's an interesting game, but I don't know that it has been received by the masses. And, you know, this particular dev would like to add stuff to the game and continue bolting on content, but is probably at a point where they're saying, hey, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. It might be time to pivot completely, you know? And it's a bummer. It takes a long, long time to, you know, build these games, right? I can't imagine it. And then you read some of these horror stories too about Steam launches just going very south, you know, where the game's supposed to launch, and for whatever reason, people that have wish listed it they don't get that email. It doesn't come out to them for whatever reason. And, boy, it just sinks that first day of sales. It's a bummer. Yeah, it's totally a bummer. Any news on more Tiny Rogues integrations? That's a very timely question. I actually responded to a post from Ruby Dev the other day that created Tiny Rogues, and I don't know. I didn't hear anything in the affirmative. I just had kind of said, hey, you know, this post is reminding me I got to get back to some Tiny Rogues. It is such a good game. If you have not played Tiny Rogues, I highly recommend it. We have, gosh, probably a couple dozen Tiny Rogues videos on the channel in case you need to see it at all before you jump in. But that dev was kind enough to make a skill called Goat Force, and it's inspired by the channel. It's really fantastic. If you are playing Tiny Rogues and you have an opportunity to take the Goat Force skill, you take the Goat Force skill. I'm glad we had this talk. Okay? All right? Everybody on board with that? Is that where I say, I have spoken? I think that's where I say, I have spoken. Tiny Rogues is the best. My girl and I both love it. It's so good. It's so good. I appreciate that you take it. I appreciate that. Yeah, that really is a fantastic game. Huge fan. Little story about that game. I think it's been long enough now. I was talking with the dev early on. I had gotten a copy of the game well before the release date. It might have been, like a whole week and a half, and I was really honored by that because the channel at the time was very small. I don't even know if I had 100 subs at the time, and so to get a game like that, it was one of those ones where I played it and I thought, holy cow, does this dev know what they have? Because this really is quite something. And so the dev had initially told me, hey, look, here's the deal. I don't really have a firm embargo, but I don't really want you to make content until such and such a time, right? And so I made a whole bunch of videos, and as part of the video, knowing the whole timeline, I had indicated, and by the way, this game is coming out on blah, 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 just a few days from now, blah, 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 And there was a morning where I got a DM from the dev. I think it was like a Saturday morning or something, and different time zones, right? And so my phone starts going off at, I don't know, some insane hour, like 5 a.m. local. And it's the dev saying, hey, so something's changed. If you want to put the videos out now, go ahead and put the videos out now. And at this point in time, I thought, holy gods, I gotta jump on this. We gotta get, and so I'm running out of bed and getting the videos ready and putting like a little text disclaimer running at the bottom saying, hey, I know I said it's gonna be out on blah, blah, blah just a few days from now, but blah, 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 just to clean it up. Turns out it wasn't an issue at all. But yeah, that's the thing that happened. Tiny Rogues is awesome. Tiny Rogues is really, really good. Tiny Rogues is how you found the channel. That's crazy, Goon. And you found the channel around that time too. You won the giveaway. Wow. That's wild. That's really wild. You know, we have done some pretty awesome things out here. That is awesome. Now I have to play some. Yeah, you're gonna be in for a treat. That's crazy. That's crazy, Goon. Wow. That is really wild. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for a while, and some of you have been hanging out for a good while, and I appreciate that. Really do. Sometimes I forget that people found the channel in ways other than Lucky Tower. Sometimes I forget, you know? Because Lucky Tower. Yeah, there were shenanigans in the earlier days. There sure were. Burn damage increased by 50%. That sounds pretty okay. I bought Lucky Tower just cause you, but I've only played like 30 or so minutes. You know, I hear that a lot. That's a common sentiment, I think, with Lucky Tower, and you know, I think people get banged up, and then they go, oh, I don't know about Lucky Tower. It's a hard game. It's a tough video game. Stand corrected, 104 minutes. Well, I'm glad we cleaned it up. I'm glad we cleaned it up for accuracy. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you watch the first 10 Lucky Tower videos that I did, especially that first one, it's not pretty. I mean, I get banged up in a big way. I enjoy your stuff. I hope you're able to keep going for a long while. Have a good night. Hey, thanks so much, Eric. Really appreciate that. Yeah, but I just kind of get in there and know that chances are I'm going to get banged up in a big way. And then sometimes, occasionally, I don't. And truth be told, when I win in Lucky Tower, it surprises me every time. I'm not, no joke. It's a little surprise every time. It's 1,000 times more fun yelling, "No goat, you already were there. There isn't any cobwebs," and watching you go through. Yeah, that is definitely a thing that has happened only once. It's only happened one time. One time, 3 times, but only that one time. For 3 times. I'm glad we all agree. Fireball skill range increases by 80%. Yeah, we're going to go with the damage increase, I think. And we will increase the gold gang. All right. Wow, plus 25% chance for burn to trigger again. Holy cow. All right. Oh, the riddles. Oh, man. Okay, so we're just... You really want to get into it, huh? Yeah, well, you know... Yes, the riddles. Look, the riddles are challenging. And I think if I had just more time, just a little bit more time for each riddle, like, I don't know, like, give me 10 minutes, you know? Give me 10 minutes in there. And I could probably solve the riddles. I just want 10 minutes. Like, why can't we have nice things? right? Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like I said, I just have fun with it. All right, we're gonna go fire again, or do we want to do a? Maybe we want to try a bleed build this time. I've been going fire a lot. Let's try bleed. Yeah, no, it's true. I would, and I'm glad we all know that, and that we're all okay with that too, because you're right. Look, half of the challenge for me, even if I solve the riddle, is knowing where the item even is, right? So, like, good, we've decided it's the pumpkin. Now, where is it? The time is counting down. And then there's parts of that game where, you know, I just decide that that's a no. Right? There's particular rooms that they're just no rooms. It's going to be a no for me. They're predetermined no's. And when I see them, I just nope right out. Hey, have a good night, Rob. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. You know, it's interesting when they're forced. That does make for really good TV. I agree. Fireball skill acceleration increases by 60. Yeah, more fireballs. More fireballs. Fireball additional cast increased by 80%. Yes. All right, so we got rid of the big guy. Let's go burn duration. And let's do burn damage by 100%. Okay, Solar Annihilation. Gathers the power of fire around nearby enemies and causes an explosion. I want to stick with the combo of bleed and fire. So let's go with another bleed here. Pushed around a little bit. You know, I think I mentioned this in today's video. Chance for poison to trigger when bleeding occurs. That's awesome. Those incrementals. I gotta tell you, those games really put a hold on me last week. That Asteroid Prospector game where you're mining coffee beans from asteroids. I finished that game in 2 sittings. I had so much fun with that. And then I got a hold of Shell Divers, which makes me think of Hell Divers every time. I also finished that game in 2 sittings. It was so good. So good. All right, let's re-roll. Let's re-roll again. Here's a burn. All right, we're gonna go burn. Yeah, I think that I might try to get a hold of that. This is a game about digging a hole. They're just such they're such chill experiences. Oh, that's a good one too, huh? Yeah, I think I've got to play that one. You know, it's more fun, the multiplayer version. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, it's a new genre that's popular right now. Short incremental games for about $5. They'll only last 3 to 4 hours. Oh, well, I will think about that, Goon, if I get a hold of that one. I'm off on Friday, and my plan is to play Silent Hill 2. That's my grand plan, and to drink coffee. Copious amounts of coffee will be consumed. We're going to go critical damage increased by 15% here. One game you played that I like, but I think people don't get much love, was Worship, the devil one. Yes. I'll tell you, I really liked Worship. I have not been back to Worship in a while, but I have thought about that game. In fact, when we were talking about Cult of the Lamb earlier, Worship went through my mind at the same time. I like Worship. Worship had some technical challenges at the time I was playing it. But I bet if we were to go to Worship right now, I bet it plays a lot better. I bet they've done so many updates to that game. See, now you've got me curious what that's sitting at in terms of its review and whether people are still playing Worship. I hope they are. It's got such a good look, too. The black and white, and then the stark red when you're out there doing your thing. So good. Yeah. Great video game. All right, Goon, I will do it. Worship is 80% positive review in 160 reviews. Yeah. Enter the Chronosphere, other I liked you playing. Yeah, you know, that's another one. I got an email about that one a while back, but if I recall, it was maybe an updated demo that they had put out. But yeah, that's the one where if you're moving, they're moving in real time, if I remember it right. Really, really good. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Goon. All right, let's exit here, and let's take a look at the upgrade situation here. So I think experience gain is going to get a boost. I think pickup range is going to get a boost. You know, we forgot to glaze sulfur. Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that. We're at almost 100%. Now that's exciting. We got 500 left. Okay, I don't think I can afford anything else here. But that's okay. That's okay because we got the good stuff. Okay? It's exciting. I like sulfur. 25% chance to restore 1 HP when using holy type skills. Increases skill haste by 20 for each equipped holy type skill. When using burn, 30% chance to grant 1 additional. Okay, that's cool. So can we... Physical bleeding. Oh, okay. Okay. I got it. So we're adding skills in now? Oh, I see. When using burn, 30% chance to grant 1 additional. Yeah, we definitely want that. 25% chance to restore 1 HP when using holy type skills. No, we want that one. All right. And let's change this out with a fire skill. Whispering Flame creates 2 areas of continuous fire damage around random enemies. All right. See, I did the reading that time. It's fantastic. Okay. Hey, see you on the next one, Mr. Kurtosin. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. It was fun. All right, I think we're good to go here. This is where we dominate now. Detonates twice under a random enemy, dealing continuous damage. Sure. What could go wrong? %25 chance for poison to trigger when bleeding triggers. Yeah, that sounds quite fine. Let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll. This could be interesting if we do cause poison with the bleed skills, so why not? You figure 25% of the time. And we're seeing some poison out there, so it's working. There's there is a reason to go all in on it. Let's go with this. And experience gang increase sounds nice to me. Then again, this will affect 3 skills. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, here's another. This looks like the same. This is a very similar icon. I know it's different, but when I saw it at first, I thought, wait a second here. All right, we'll go with Cross of Doom. Poison damage increased by 20%. Sure. Burn duration increase. Yep. We were able to watch more Welcome to Derry. I think we are up to episode 4 now. No spoilers ever. All I'm going to say is I'm very pleased with it. We're having a good time with the show. And I am looking forward to continuing to watch Welcome to Derry. Love that universe. I finally started watching Superman and Lois. It's pretty damn good. Superman and Lois. Now wait a second. This is this a remake? This is something recent? Or are we talking Dean Cain? Is this the Dean Cain? No. 2021. Okay. All right. So not Dean Cain for sure. Superman and Lois. Why don't I know what that is? But you say it's pretty good. It's where Superman has told Lois who he is. They get married, had twins. It's the one where they have kids, huh? Okay. It's an acquired taste. All right. Fire type skill, additional cast. Yep. Now we are looking low on the health side. Let me tell you what. Max health increased by 120. Yeah. Oh, but they didn't give us the additional 120. All right, I feel a certain way about that. We're getting a little bit banged up out here. This is a tougher stage. All right, let's grab this chest. Additional cast increased by 20%. Holy type skill, explosive impact, skill acceleration increased by 80. Let's do this. Recover 20 health per level. That's probably the responsible thing to do at this point. Oh. Okay. Couldn't get there. Let's go ahead and see if we can be spendthrifts here. Critical hit chance. You know, health recovery might be interesting to put a little bit of point action into. And let's just go damage across the board. All right. I'll have to check it out then, Goon. It sounds like it could be interesting. I feel like there's lots of good shows that are out there right now. Have any of you made time for Stranger Things yet? Oh, Smallville. That's the other one I was thinking of. Yes. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. We're gonna go evasion. Do I have Plex? I do not have Plex. I do not have Plex. What is Plex? Is this a streaming service out there? Critical hit chance by 15%. That's not bad. Sign up for a free Plex account, email you. Oh, well, that's very kind. What is it? Oh, it's a way to host your own server for media. Oh, okay. You know what? I have heard Jeff Gerstmann, I believe, talk about Plex. If anybody has watched Jeff over the years of Giant Bomb fame. Jeff Gerstmann. He's out there doing his own thing now. But Jeff, if I remember right, Jeff is heavy into Plex. And he's got a big server with all of his stuff. Used to love Stranger Things, but I've not seen the latest season. Yeah, you know, I have enjoyed it too over the years. Haven't started the new season either. I thought the previous season, this one that just ended, I thought it was really good. Wow, a little over a petabyte of TV shows, movie, and music. Wow. Holy cow. That's a ton. You've acquired many things over many moons. That is a lot. 25% chance for electrocution to trigger when burn triggers. Holy cow. It's amazing. Oh, you've got a server rack in your office at home. Wow. Goon, did you spend some time on the IRCs of the world? Or maybe the torrent services of the world? Maybe the news sites of the world? Some of those, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, we did the IRC thing back in the day. Look, I may have gotten a copy of a particular Star Wars film and had a professor that was very interested in said Star Wars film and wanted to show it in class, and I just couldn't. I couldn't go for that. Just couldn't do it. And he felt a certain way about that. He really did, and that's putting it kindly. I was an IRC before IRC was popular, and never for sharing. Yeah, you know, IRC has a ton of functions. You know, sharing being one of them. There were some really awesome rooms in IRC. I enjoyed some IRC. You know what? Is IRC a thing today? Most of my collection was from real physical media ripped by me, but when I lost the hard drive, yeah. I know. Is IRC still a thing? It is. Okay. Wow. It's been probably a couple decades for me. That's my guess on IRC. It's been a long time. We're gonna go with this. Fireball additional casts increased by 40%. Yeah. I thought about the evasion for a moment. Ignis Jet additional cast increased by 20%. Or we just go straight damage across the board. Yeah, let's do that. Bleeding damage increased by 100%. Thunderous Echo. Wow. Yeah, we're going to do that. All right, this is going to be close, but I think we can get there. Bleeding duration increased. Fire type skill area increased. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you thought we lost the music, but the good times are still flowing. Don't worry, DJ Goat has you covered. Where we're going, we don't need roads. You know about DJ Goat? This is looking really good. I'm biased. I'm definitely biased, but this is looking pretty good, I gotta say. Flame Roulette skill acceleration increases by 20. Yes. Yeah, I think we can do it. Here we go. Outstanding. All right. That was pretty good. I mean, as long as we're moving on, we're moving on. Always starts out a little bit harder in the beginning. But as long as we can get the right fire skills, it seems to go pretty well for us. All right, fireball skill acceleration increases by 80. I mean, that sounds pretty good. And it's an epic. Let's do it. Goon tried to say earlier that I wasn't looking at the rarity levels. Maury Povich just determined that was a lie. Additional cast increased by 5%. Fire type skill area increased by 10%. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. As long as we can stick with fire. You 1,000, 10,000% didn't until I said something, and Maury is a scam. Oh man. How would Maury feel right now? Maury is a scam. What a time. I think that would hurt Maury's heart. Yeah, you know, gosh, daytime talk shows, where would we be without them? You know? And Maury Povich. Holy cannoli. I've told Goat to look at rarity too. Yeah, R.I.P. Jerry. For sure. For sure. You know what? They are interesting. Of course I remember Donahue. Of course. Yeah, you know which one was on a lot, and I think it's because maybe it came on like right after Price is Right. Was Jenny Jones. Jenny Jones was on the television. And, you know, I'm not even going to say it's because I wanted to watch. It was just, you know, it came on and you were like, all right, it is, I'll just leave this on the television. Yeah, daytime talk shows. Crazy. I remember a day I was homesick from school. Donahue was on, and there was this priest arguing that he should be able to keep his dog's bank account. Oh man, yeah. You know, there were absolutely some characters on the The parish wanted to cut the stipend for the dog. Named dog. Wow. Ricky Lake, yeah. Ricky Lake. Yeah, there were some times Ricky Lake was on the TV for sure. I'll admit to it. Montel. Yep. You had a friend that was on Ricky Lake 4 times. Wait a second. On the stage? Or in the audience? All variations of the same thing. She cheated, he cheated. Yeah. Yep. Well, it's true. It's true. Totally correct on that. On the show. Okay. I had a coworker, Jerry Springer too, that was on Springer. That's wild. That is wild. Has anybody sat in the audience for one of those shows? That's not something I've done. But I wouldn't mind it. I certainly wouldn't mind it happening. Well, we're situated pretty good from a skills standpoint. I think we're running a little bit behind from a pentagram completion standpoint, but I don't know. Maybe there's enough time. We'll see. Flame swing skill acceleration increases by 20. Crit damage by 50. Yeah, I suppose we'll go crit damage. A classmate got this. Her name was Crystal Light. Real name. Accusing a friend of mine of the big R word before it was trendy to fake allegations. Wow. Wow. You know, there are some really good documentaries out there on daytime talk shows. And I would encourage you to check those out. My best friend's sister went on The Price is Right and won. She got a bunch of furniture. Any money she won went to paying taxes. You have to pay taxes on the prizes. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And that's sometimes a huge surprise to winners. And they can be a lot too, because you know that's probably considered some kind of special, 1099 type income, and the tax rate is probably quite high. Very interesting. I also went to school with Ben Gay. Yeah. I went to school with someone that had... She had the last name of George, and her father was George. That was the story. And I felt a certain kind of way about that. I thought that was really interesting. George. All right. Give us all the coins. Okay, 1 minute, huh? I don't know. I am not sure about this. Let's do Holy type skill damage increased by 60%, so that would affect that. Yeah, let's do it. All right, this mini boss is knocking us around. That's not going too well. There we go. All right. Let's go with this. Had a girl there. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, you know, there are some names to have that are more challenging than others. Oh yeah, Goat can definitely read, you know. It's a family show though. Skill range increased by 5%. This is going to be extremely close, isn't it? Wow. I think we got this. Oh, the show is going on. How about that? No, I hear ya. I hear ya. Stage 1-8. Well, we're going to try to continue to cook, but I think this is going to be challenging, given how the last one went. I don't know. I feel like the fire thing is working quite well. Now maybe we marry that up with electric skills if they pop up. Since occasionally we're gonna cause electric, right? Crit hit chance increased by 10%. Yep. Burn duration increased by 10%. You know, let's re-roll. Here we go. That's a nice legendary. So does anybody have big weekend plans coming up here? We'll go with another fire skill. Let's do this. Every week, every day is a weekend. Yeah, that is good. Let's try the lightning cyclone for the first time. Fireball skill acceleration increases by 60. Yeah, let's do that. Magma Ball, additional casts increased by 120. You know what? Let's do more crits. A regular crit commander out there. Disability with no pay is not a great weekend. Yeah. I hear ya. I do hear ya. Flame Swing skill acceleration increases by 80. You know... And we've only got the one lightning skill at this point. You know, let's do this. Give that one a little bit of a boost there. It looks like it's pretty decent. You know, let's go with some evasion. And we sit in this circle and get banged up throughout the match. If we evade some of those hits, that actually would be decent. And we got room for one more skill. We're already at 3 of 5. All right, fire type skill haste increased by 20. Lightning type, yeah, let's do this. Got the chest too. Yeah, that would be nice. Let's do that. Just gaming with your wife all weekend. That actually sounds quite splendid. What do you plan on playing? You know, I was hoping for one more electrical. Here we go. Plasma field creates a damage zone that continuously deals damage around a nearby enemy. There it is. And it's one reroll. Lightning type skill area increased by 60%. That's great. Okay. Playing Noobs Are Coming right now. That's a great game. Good for you. Lightning type skill haste increased by 20 or crit damage. Let's do crit damage. I feel like we're getting a lot of those lately. So might as well boost the damage up. Yeah, I enjoyed Noobs Are Coming quite a bit. Isn't that nice when you go to your Steam library and you're just looking at a list of 57 games and all of them are ones that you'd consider just diving right back into? It's just a lot of good games to play. All right, Lightning Cyclone, additional cast. You know, we'll go burn damage increase on this one. Species unknown. I'm not familiar with that one. What type of game is that? He asked before about Dave the Diver, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass in a couple months. Dave the Diver's really good. Really, really good. Except I get Humble Bundle, so I have a bunch of stuff I'll never play. Yeah, you know, I get it. I totally get it. I do like Humble Bundle, though. It's pretty neat. It's a neat offering. Fireball skill range increases by 80%. Oh, let's go more, jeez. I like this too, though. I don't know. I feel like this is a nice step up again. Yeah, we're gonna go crits. Yeah, Dave the Diver is very good. I very much enjoyed my time with Dave. It's I'd say it's an incremental more than it's a rogue, but it's enjoyable. The beginning and mid game was my favorite. Now you'll have a good time. Boy, we're on a nice roll lately with the W's. It's a shooter. You accept contracts, and you're always being stalked by one of the species on the map. It changes every time. It's been out in early access for a month so far, but it's really fun. Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds really cool. And it's multiplayer then, Sekiro? Assuming yes, if you're playing with the wife. Sounds cool. I'm gonna check that out. You know, usually when I go to end the stream, I hold on to the chat and I wish list some of the games that you brought up. Sounds cool. Additional cast increased by 10%. Yes. No, it's no problem. Burn damage increased by 20%. Fire type skill additional cast increased by 20%. Yes. That sounds cool. At some point, I'd like to get to Borderlands 4. I have not played that yet, and my buddy and I have talked about getting to that one. I'm trying to remember what we played last week. We've actually played quite a few different games lately. We've been changing it up from week to week, and I am too exhausted, and the name is escaping me, but it was, God, I want to say it was called Void Train that we played for a little bit. It was kind of a cooperative survival style game where you're building parts of a train, and there's some shooteriness going on as well. Yeah, Void Train. Right. Yep. And, you know, we had some fun with that one. I think after several hours, it started to wear thin for us. So we did bounce off of that one. But we're always up for trying interesting games. All right. Last time, now I remember. Last Friday, we actually got together and we played Morose Protocol. And that's kind of it's a pixelized FPS game. It's kind of similar to Dead Zone Rogue, if that rings a bell. But it's got a creepiness factor to it. That's pretty good. We had a good time. Okay. Yeah, but those things, meeps or whatever, they're too cute. Yep. We definitely had some meeps along the way. Had to create beds for these little pets that would join you and give you different buffs along the way in Void Train. It's a fun little game. I didn't love how the map kept repeating. You know, when you'd get off the train and you'd go explore and have it was the same map. Pretty sure they aren't called meeps, but you know what a meep is. Yep, meep, yep. Oh, I know. Yes. And Roadrunner had all the meeps. All of them. You know about Roadrunner? Oh yeah, GTFO. Yep. We tried GTFO and we didn't do well. We did not do well at GTFO. We had a good time, but we didn't do well. Okay, I could see it. I could see a Kermit meep. Critical damage increased by 10%. Yeah. I definitely mixed the stats up quite a bit. Or styles, I should say. This time. We got all the elements popping off. All right. Beekman. Are we talking Beekman of Beekman's World? Paranoia Place was also a cheap and fun little game that we played together as well. Paranoia Place. That one's not ringing a bell for me either. Oh, Beekman. Are you talking Beaker? I thought his name was Beaker. But I could absolutely be wrong. Might be Beekman. But you're making me think of Beekman's World. I may or may not have worked with someone in a professional capacity. And people did refer to him as Beaker. And not, not for reasons that he would appreciate. I'm just saying. It is a thing that happened in my life. And that was unfortunate for Beaker. But that's okay. We got along great. It was just a temporary loss of music. Nothing to panic about. Okay, we're still here. Fire type skill additional cast increased by 20%. Venomous breath additional cast increased. Yeah, let's do this. Played golf with a guy that was on the C tier level at IBM, and we called him Kermit because he was a tiny dude and sounded just like Kermit. Ah, that's fabulous. That is fabulous. I don't think we're gonna make it this time. I was out wandering a little bit too much. Had 2 of every year of Mustang ever made. 2 of each. Wow. That's crazy. Do you know what that reminds me of, Goon? Have you seen the Bob Odenkirk sketch on oh god, whose show is that? I'm not going to think of the comedian's name, but Bob Odenkirk is in the sketch and he's talking about all the vehicles that he has. They're at a restaurant. Guy's there with his daughter. If you haven't seen the sketch, it's a favorite of mine. It's so good. No, so it wasn't on Mr. Bob. No, it's oh god, it's the other guy. And the show is still on. It's been on for several seasons. I just can't think of the dude's name. But he's hilarious. If you Google it, he'll come up. It's a guy sitting in a diner with his daughter, and he's telling tall tales. And Odenkirk gets in on it, and if you haven't seen it, you need to take a look at this. It's just fantastic. Oh, Bob's tremendous. Love Odenkirk. I still gotta watch the sequel to Nobody. I heard it's good. Folks, that is going to do it for We're Doing It Live Wednesdays. Thank you so much to everybody that joined and hung out. I'll tell you right now, it says there's 67 viewers. This is a new record, and I can't thank you enough for the support. We're gonna keep doing these, and I'll tell you, I'm glad you like it because I like it. It's a great way to break up the week. It's right smack dab in the middle, and if you feel like you need it, I need it. It's a great space. Just blow off some steam, So, thank you again. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening, your afternoon, your morning, whatever you're doing out there. Thank you so much. And I'll tell you what, we'll do this again soon. Because we must. The show must go on. All right. Take care. Until next time.